Hello and welcome to Digital Goulash. My name is Chucky and today we're going to have some golf ball fun and magic. We're going to put your name on a golf ball and make it look real with the dimples and everything. So let's first start off with a picture of a golf ball. Now if you don't have one, you can always go to Microsoft and just go in the clip art. You are allowed to use these. These are royalty free. You can just go in there into the clip art, or if you have a different suite, you can get it. Maybe you have Print Shop or something else. You could go ahead and get it from there. Now I have a golf ball, just a standard golf ball with a white background. What we need to do first is we need to go in there and we need to separate this golf ball from the background. Let's start with our marquee tool here. If you're not on your marquee tool, it's the third one down. If you see a square one, just click and hold it and then pick the elliptical marquee. Now on the Mac and PC as well, you can either use the Alt or the Option key and you can draw a marquee from the center. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to hold the Shift key down, and what that's going to do is make a perfect circle. So if I hold the Alt and Shift key, or the Option and Shift key down at the same time and start drawing a circle with this, it's going to make a circle, a perfect circle from the middle. Now as you can see, I didn't do a super good job. It's a little bit short on the bottom right, so I'm going to make it a little bit larger on the top left. And then I'm going to let go. Now as long as you're on the marquee tool, you can use the arrow keys to move the marquee down to where you have the perfect circle right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to take this and we're going to create a new layer. Does anybody know how? Okay, it is Command J or Control J. As you might have known if you've seen some of my videos, it's one of my favorite control keys or command keys. Let me turn the eyeball off. You can see the transparency is the checkerboard pattern. Alright, now what we're going to do is we need to save this out as a displacement map. So what we need to do is we need to get this really contrasty. And how we're going to do that is go to Enhance, and we're going to go down, and we're first going to start by converting it to a black and white image. Even though it looks black and white, it isn't. So we're going to convert it into a black and white image. As you can see, it's not quite as bright white. Now I'm going to pick infrared effect because it gives it the most contrast. You can really see the dimples. Now we'll see where we're going with this in a minute. Then I'm going to enhance it again, and I'm going to adjust some lighting. I'm going to go into the shadows and the highlights, as you can see here, and I'm going to lighten some of them and I'm going to darken some of them. We want it really contrasty, and then on the mid-tone contrast I want a lot of contrast. So once I'm done with this, we need to save this out. So I'm going to File, Save As. This was golf ball clip art. Now I'm going to add the word displacement map. Alright, and I'm going to just save it on my desktop. So there we go, we got the displacement map. Alright, now we can turn that off and go back to the golf ball itself. Now we want to put our name on here. So I'm going to go grab the text tool, which is the fifth one down. Let's put a bright color on there, such as red. So I've got red right here, and I'm going to choose Center Justify, or center the text. And I'm going to use stencil because that's a nice bold one. We're going to be able to see what it looks like on the golf ball. So I'm going to start in here. It's going to be center justified, so I'll click in here. That's a little big. Maybe I need to go down and put it maybe at about 30 or so. Let's try that. And I'm going to type in your name. Okay, that's a little bit big, but that's okay. If I'm happy with that, I click the checkbox and I use the Move tool. I can use the arrows to move this to the center of the golf ball. So there's your name. Now it doesn't look very realistic right now. One of the things that we have to do is we have to go do what's called spherizing this. We need to distort this so it looks like your letters are wrapping around the ball. So once again, we need to come over here. To go to the elliptical marquee tool, and what did we do before? We hit the Alt Shift or the Option Shift, and we're going to start in the middle, and we're going to draw another one. Now this one doesn't have to be quite as big as the golf ball. And we're going to leave it there and then try and center it just a little bit. Now under your filters menu, you have one called Distort, and that's where we're going to stay. And we're going to choose Spherize. Now it's going to ask you if you want to simplify this layer. Just say yes. And as you can see, it kind of bows out right here. You can see that it looks like a ball or a sphere or a globe. And I'm going to select it OK. And as you can see, now it looks like your name is kind of wrapping around the ball here. Now hit a Control or Command D, that gets rid of the marching ants. Now it still doesn't look very realistic because you can't see the dimples inside your name here. Now that's the magic of the displacement map. Now remember that file we called displacement map? Let's go to the filter and let's go to Distort and let's displace our golf ball here. Now this is where the thickness of the dimples is going to come in. I chose 4. 5 was a little bit too deep, and 2 was not quite deep enough. So I chose 4 for this one, but you're going to have to play around with these numbers. Once you select OK, you have to pick where the displacement map. Remember I called this displacement map? I'm going to click here and I'm going to open it. And as you can see, it goes in there and it kind of displaces it as if these things are going in the little dimpled craters here. Now it still doesn't look that realistic, so we need to change our blending mode. And I'm going to put all these in the description. But we're going to choose multiply right there. Kind of darkens it, kind of shades it as if it still doesn't look realistic enough. So what we're going to do is we are going to add some of the contrast back into this. Now if you hold the Command or Control key down, and you get this little finger here and click on the Your Name layer, it's going to outline your name. Now we don't want to delete your name. What we want to do is we want to delete everything but your name. So if you hold Command-Shift-I or Control-Shift-I, it will select everything but your name. Now we're going to click on the layer 1, which was where we got our displacement map, and we're going to hit Delete. When we're done, we're going to hit Control D, and now you can see your name is starting to wrap around the ball and it has little dimples inside your name. Now if you still want to change this and maybe you think it still doesn't look that real, you can change the opacity, but I wouldn't go down below about 80. 80 is about all you want to do, and now we're done. And when you're ready, you can take this ball and you can save it out as a JPEG and then send it to your friends, and you can tell them, hey look, I got my name on my golf balls. So anyway, that is your lesson on displacement maps and having fun with golf balls. This is Chucky for Digital Goulash. Please subscribe. If you have any comments, just leave them. Talk to you later. Bye.